been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long. Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long. Assalamu alaikum, man. Peace go with your brother, man. Inhale that cake to keep the peace, man. To keep the peace, man. It's funny when you're looking at your brother, man. And he acting like the mothers, man. Because I'm from the country, man. I can tell the difference, man. We see the world differently. Before them skinnies and them yoga pants, we had them southern girls with them fat bottoms. I grew up with a whole bunch of Mexicans, and we was way back some niggas before Trump, man. Trump, man. And I ain't talking immigrants, I'm talking about U.S. citizens being killed by U.S. citizens. America, that's where we live. Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long. Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long.
Wrote a letter to the president, he tweeted in response. Forget about your residence, your daddy and your mom. Sitting in the synagogue and burning a Quran. Another psychedelic, no another Vietnam. I'm thinking I don't wanna get another job, and I don't wanna get another boss. And we don't wanna take another loss. Everybody wanna floss, they don't wanna pay the cost. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up in the morning feeling light. Solar rays eliminate the night. Polar step eliminate my fights. No comparison to Christ, but I'm trying to get it right. I've been thinking they could never seen a dead man incriminate a popo. And tell him he deserve it, he invisible and loco. Playing with our minds, but they never take our soul though. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, like the song go.
Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long. Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long.
Welcome everyone to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. Let's make sure everything is sounding right. Yeah, and we're good. All right, how was everyone doing today? This Monday, this beginning of the week. All right, let's see who we got up in here. All right, good evening, everyone. And as I see people that are still coming on in, please like this broadcast, share this broadcast, and, we will get going. Silent D Productions in the house. Oyella Cat, Judah Queen, Tasha Peters, Karma Colt. Yes, indeed. Welcome. And that is everybody in the chat thus far who has chimed in anyway. So, so we have a lot of interesting things that have transpired this weekend. Desmond Works, welcome. You know, you know, the title of this broadcast again is Understanding the Long Con. And by that I mean, you know, the long-term agenda for a certain desired effect. And I've definitely spoke on that quite a bit here. And, you know, this will be kind of tying some other things in and just kind of, you know, creating provocative thought, critical thought. You know what I mean? With that being said, get that off here. Let me get my window up here for you. That's what I mean. So, we got a few interesting things in the news. One, I don't know if y'all seen this story yet. Hopefully, I'm getting this article. They like to do these pop-up things. Lord, as you are coming in, please like and share this broadcast. And real quick, before I go on, looks like, unfortunately, the news has turned out to be true. The brother Anthony Johnson, the comedian, has passed away today at age 55. Unfortunately, we have brothers at that age range just falling off. And a lot of people be like, well, just take care of your health. Yeah, that's part of it. Part of taking care of your health is, not dealing with certain things. Unfortunately, like I said. Okay, looks like we got it here. So, make that larger. This is an interesting story. I guess y'all in the chat, as I'm about to play this video, I want y'all to chime in on what you think, because I found this pretty interesting, and considering we have a few people out here who are really sold on the idea that there is not a agenda that is targeting children. And, with that being said, I can understand why some people wouldn't want to believe that. Denial doesn't make something true or not. The fact of it being true or not is actually what makes something true. With that being said, here's more proof of the agenda. Let me know what y'all think on this. Can we get this up here? Play. Okay, there we go.
Hand on the titties. Put it in her coin box. Put it in her cornhole.
Whoa, let me go back so y'all
Take her out back, we boys figured. Then hand on the titties. Put it in her coin box. Put it in her cornhole. Grab a hold of that braid. Rub that calico. You can find that on page 39 of the book called Out of Darkness, which you can find at Hudson Bend Middle School and Bee Cave Middle School. All right, not gonna lie, I had to Google cornhole because I have the game in the back of my yard. But according to Wikipedia, cornhole is a sexualist slang vulgarism for anus. The term came into the use in the 1910s in the United States as verb form to cornhole, which came into usage in the 1930s, means to have anal sex. I do not want my children to learn about anal sex in middle school. I have never had anal sex. I don't want to have anal sex. I don't want my kids having anal sex. I want you to start focusing on education and not public health.
Stone, you're on.
Officials, you are supposed to be educating our children,
Ms. Bell,
not
thank you.
teach them
Ms.
about
Bell,
anal
thank you.
sex.
Thank you, Ms. Bell.
Well, I guess for all intents and purposes, she is correct. So like I said, Esma, welcome. You know, as we see, what do y'all think? Like I said, clearly some people are in denial of an agenda existing. But I mean, when you have textbooks pushing something so blatant, at what point do we actually say, okay, we're seeing what we're seeing? You know what I mean? And she's reading you the book. Now, how is it, excuse me, how is it that her actually reading the book and then describing what it's actually talking about is the problem? So when it was hidden and covert message to children, it was okay. But when she pointed it out in front of adults, it was offensive. Okay, well, let's just look at that right there. If a topic is too much for a room full of adults, then how much more inappropriate would it be to be a topic for children? I mean, if you're really bothered by it as grown adults and parents, how do we then say, well, yes, this information totally makes sense to push on little children who have yet to even come into adulthood to even be part of sexuality? Why would, you know what I'm saying? Why does that make sense? You know, but hey, people don't believe that there are agendas. Or either they're just lying, denial, you know, but like I just said, denial does not make one thing true or not. You know what I mean? With that being said, we have to examine everything we're seeing. You know, like, let me go back and just show you let's go back to understanding the long con. Let me get that banner off. Let's break down this picture right here. Okay? What we're seeing, if you look at the very middle, you're seeing a bunch of influential people. And then in the middle, and sporadically, you see Lil Nas X. Because I'm using this for a teaching moment. This isn't about bashing your sexuality. This is just about establishing a fact of a pattern when money's involved for certain families with certain agendas. And lo and behold, the same people are always there. So I don't now have to look at what I see differently than what I already know exists. Now you'll get in trouble for identifying what you already know to come. That's how they're doing now. They'll shame you because of your prevention of this agenda. This is a New World Order agenda. Do not think anything less of it, ladies and gentlemen. It is a New World Order agenda. Now you think of civil rights. You see with the Rothschild couple, you see another famous black couple right there, don't you? You know, yeah, homeschooling. And homeschooling, you definitely got to do a lot of teaching. Teaching on who these different people are, you know. And then you look over here to the far left, and look at all those people on the screen. See all those influential people within media, money, big pharma. Then you look all the way over there to the right. You see the New World Order book up there, and it has passages in there. And right in below it, in the center, is Richard Nixon and Henry Kissinger. Now you might want to go educate yourself about their particular relationship and how their relationship still affects Black America to this day. Right next to them would be George Soros, another piece of the same puzzle, to which stems, if you go right back to the center of the picture, right underneath the Martin Luther King and the Rothschilds, you see the Rothschild family, and right next to it, you see what? More civil rights movement with Rothschild involvement. You see a full circle pattern of control. Okay? So now, for anybody who wants to say that this is divisive talk because this is about sexuality or gender, what I just showed you on the screen and walked you through had absolutely nothing to do with it. So if you're too emotional to understand that, well, then, they knew just what to play on. But, a lot of people won't believe what the agenda is. Yeah, I guess not. Have you seen, have you ever heard of these people before? These are people that, they do meet. They convene. I wonder what they convene about. You know what I'm saying? What do they talk about in their private chambers? Considering how most of these people make sure that they go out of their way to control whichever narrative is coming out in the world from foundational Black Americans. Damn, do you see any foundational Black Americans in that bunch? But it's a whole lot of meeting to really know or control what the world thinks of us, huh? Imagine that. Boy, so look at that. All of those people have so much influence to make sure that our children get to see this. Now, I'm sorry. For a person who, if I put in baby videos on YouTube, you mean to tell me that somehow this is not gonna reflect? Pretty interesting now, isn't it? Now, what you need to wonder is, why do all of those non-melanated individuals want so much control over how we are viewed? Now, what do you see on the screen? If you looked around the world right now, you wouldn't know what the image of heterosexual masculinity for a Black person look like in America right now. Not by way of TV, but guess what? This is not our doing. This is not our doing, but you have to understand the game. Like I said, the long con. Let's go back to these people here. Because I think I do. Okay, they are on the screen. All right, so family, look all the way to the left. You see where the Teletubbies are? Go 2 pictures to the right. That family right there with the old dudes in the wheelchair sitting down, that is the family that owns BET. Once again, I need to ask you, why is it so important for them to control our image to the world and even to ourselves? Why would that be important? None of them look like us, but it's a $1 billion industry to make sure that they control it. What that say to y'all? That means that making sure they have something in front of you to control your mind is important. And they always want to make sure that they control what you're seeing, what you take, who you listen to. Look at all the censorship on the internet right now for people who get online and speak the truth. Look at what we're seeing. Louise, welcome. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Absolutely, Conscious Outlaw. It is it's extremely sick. But I mean, we're dealing with wicked, sick individuals. You know what I'm saying? So these people are they're wise to do this type of evil. It's just showing you on the level. Now, for all intents and purposes, when you see a group like this, you think respectability, don't you? AXA Group Investing. I wonder what they do. AXA Group Investing. Let's see, Chief Investment Officer. So they seem to be a pretty big company. Let me see if I can get a picture of who they are. You know, that one's looking kind of hard to find. This is now, how are they the chairman? I'm trying to, you could find a little bit of them, but I mean, there is not really a, oh, well, no, they have like investor relations. Oh, this might be one of them companies that you ain't never gonna find out who actually is running it. So this looks like basically this AXA is some kind of investment conglomerate. So this almost looks like they are some kind of clearinghouse. Like if you had a clearinghouse for banks, kind of like a main holder for investment firms. Damn. Ooh, that's a lot of bread. Oh boy. a lot of money flowing over there. Ownership. And see, that's the whole thing. Like, look at the ownership aspect of it. Like, we don't even know who owns these things. But they're owning things that dictate how we're even supposed to see ourselves. That's why we're seeing so much right now. And we have a lot of people that just desire to be under the thumbs of white supremacy. And under the, whatever they want to say, do. You jump, you go, oh, okay, well, I'll do that. Come get this. Well, okay, I'll do that. Well, look at something else. So in the midst of all of this, look at this, look at that pyramid there. Have you all seen that before? Or anything like that? I'm sure you've had different presentations that were probably, you had different presentations that were like that. But this is just kind of giving you some insight on the players, the financial elite. Look at them companies down there. Can y'all see those? The central banks. Now, there is something, and I won't play it because it's too long. But there is a documentary, like an hour-long documentary on the Rothschilds, telling you about kind of how they came into their wealth. And on their gold, they weren't printing debt on their gold. They printed debt on their paper money. Cold. So like again, if you have to spend money, then you pretty much in debt to them. That's basically the point. If it's in God do we trust? Yeah, they're their God, which for the most part is them. For the most part is themselves. Right now, and they used the emotions of the Biden sexuals, and these black folks, so-called liberal white folks that, and the black folks that really want sexual access, for all these other exotic situations. So you go for anything. One of the major things that black folks was up here rah-rahing for was immigration. Well, with that being said, this doesn't play well for foundational black Americans. Foundational black Americans have yet to ever focus on foundational black American issues. Every time we start dealing with us, everybody starts, well, hey, what about us? What about, No, we need the opportunity to just have, how you say, just have some me time? No, I think it's the time that we have some me time. You know what I'm saying? Ownership is absolutely important. One who cares, welcome, welcome. The Rothschilds are extremely evil people. Basically, they understood though, and I give credit where credit is due. They are like masters of evil. You know what I'm saying? Like masters of wickedness and masters of manipulation and control. So with that being said, I'll give credit to where credit is due. They're very good at being wicked. They're probably at they're definitely the upper echelon. With that being said, understanding how to maintain, they need to maintain control. Now with that, who do they need to control? They let every other group on the planet control their own media. But they make sure they control ours with a strong chokehold. I mean, pretty much, if you want to have to do something really, really big with them, you're going to have to get down for some time on the time that they want you to be on, and may have to do some strange for that change. You know what I'm saying? Gonna have to make it clap for some stacks. That's the name of the game. Unfortunately, but knowing is half the battle. So when you can go ahead and just move forward and move aggressively. Don't sit up here and just act like, yeah, we should just take what you're saying for face value and wait until you stab us in the back. No, we see garbage is garbage. And when Joe Biden hopped out there and told black America he wasn't going to do a damn thing for black America, matter of fact, get used to immigrants coming over here, obviously the bells went off in some folks' heads. And I think people here were feeling themselves here a little bit, obviously, because, they're not descendants of American chattel slavery like we are. And we, have all of these different, they believe everybody here is mixed with white. It's like everybody was raped by the slave master. No, they weren't. They bred a lot of them. Yeah, they definitely had quite a few regular, mulattoes. However, you can't have a bunch of bucks like they breeding strong with the strong. They knew what they was doing. Having a bunch of over saturated field of mulattoes is bad for business. What's wrong with y'all? So no, don't be fooled by, yeah, they were raping plenty, you know, but there are plenty purebred, thoroughbreds still walking the face of the earth. Like, let's cut the crap. Some people have been taught that the white man is just so damn magnificent that there is no end to his greatness. And anything that you could possibly conceive, well, they done already thought of it because you just so lowly Negro. And if you think of it, well, then you got to know they have already thought of it. Have you ever had anybody in your family that actually talk like that and think like that? Come on, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Oh, Lord. So let's check this out. Unfortunate for some people, but it's really not our issue. Man, the tune changes so fast when it's black folks. It just changes so fast. The Congressional Black Caucus has been pretty much deafening silent. You know, nothing much to see here. Oof, good grief. Check that out. Now, you know, they done took Jason Black, the Black Authorities broadcast down from yesterday. You know, because again, let's remember, Roland Martin called out New Black Media by name and said he wanted all the smoke. Somehow that tune has changed. In the midst, though, boy, look at some of these folks, man. Look at their people. Lickety split. We had a border crisis. Oh, we have all these people coming from Guatemala. They got to come across the border. If they go back home, they'll be killed. We don't know what to do. We need to figure out some kind of policy to keep these people here. What happened today? What happened, early this morning? Well, actually yesterday. They're saying that the infrastructure bill can't be passed because it has provisions for immigrants in it. Yeah, trust me, they're going to get the infrastructure bill passed. Because you know why? They just had to do some tweaking to the whole immigrant thing. But they got to answer real quick. You see, they got the buses pulling up on deck. They got Spirit Airlines in the mix. They found an answer. They're gonna get that infrastructure bill. They just need to make sure they put some clarification on which immigrants would stand. And it ain't these ones.
We're in Del Rio, Texas. It is September 16th. This is underneath one bridge. 10,503 illegal aliens. A mass of humanity that has crossed and is waiting to come into America. The reason they're here is simple. 8 days ago, the Biden administration made a political decision. A political decision to cancel deportation flights to Haiti. They did that on September 8th. 8 days later, these numbers appeared. On September 8th, underneath this bridge, there were between 700 and 1,000 people. But when the word got out that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were no longer deporting people who came from Haiti, suddenly everyone who was here called their friends, called their family, And the numbers surged to 10,503. That's what's here today. It is more than the capacity of the Border Patrol to handle. This is the result of a political decision. This is a result that is indefensible. What we are seeing here, this is wrong. This is inhumane. And this is entirely caused by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Disaster. I feel sorry for the folks down there, but you have to return back to where she came, and we clearly understand why. What's funny though is how you're just watching such the hypocrisy of energy. With the whole AOC coming out pumping immigrant this, immigrant that, the whole, what they call themselves, the crew, the squad. Come on. They spent all of that time talking about immigrants this, immigrants that, immigrants gonna be this. Soon as you got some Haitian immigrants coming through Texas, all of a sudden, Roland talking about he's on the day of rest. All of a sudden, he observing Sunday as the Sabbath, I guess now. Oh, it's the day of rest. Cut it out. You not gonna say nothing about your people? I mean, let's see. Is it not in the Bible to where David and who you call Jesus ate and did things on the Sabbath for the men that were traveling with them? It was because they were actually righteous men, which of course we know you wouldn't possibly look at yourself like that, Roland, of course not. But with that being said, we also know that you talk loud, but when you get pressed, tune changes. So we seen how you wanted to do the day of rest. Next thing you know, you're actually copping pleas on the internet, on Twitter, blocking folks, cussing folks out because they got on your top about not saying anything about these people getting their asses ran up out of here on an eight flight a day schedule from Spirit Airlines that Joe Biden helped sign a check for. Now, in the meantime, you got Clyburn. Where's that at? You got Clyburn up here talking about the infrastructure, and I wanted to see what those Democrats were actually talking about. Their whole conversation was about these people talk about climate, infrastructure. And this is Clyburn just yesterday. This sucker on here. This fish-eyed fool. Infrastructure. This dude's a clown. But it goes to show, remember, the C Congressional Black Caucus was out there pumping the DACA program. They were pushing it out. That was actually, that probably is still in their, it's been a while since I went on the Congressional Black Caucus's website, but it used to be there that these people were all about supporting DACA and the Dreamers. I guess if you hate from Haiti, you can't dream. Haitians don't have dreams. Boy, that almost kind of, I mean, just the way they treating it, doesn't that sound real? Like what they used to say, slaves don't have souls. Well, where that funk music come from that y'all love so much? You imitate at every given turn. Clyburn. Now, this is what he's talking about yesterday. That's why we have so much work going on now. You have quite a bit going on at that border that all of y'all was pumping when we had kids in cages. And look at the kids in cages and they're being separated from their parents. Let's have it investigated. You ain't hearing none of that talk from none of these people now, especially the black ones. Oh, see, they're all talking about this infrastructure bill. Damn them Haitians down there. See, see the comparison of the agenda right here. They're like F them Haitians, while Little Nas is like F your kids. And it's all good because they all on the same page. Makes sense to me. I don't know how anybody can miss that. It seems pretty obvious. Seems pretty obvious. I mean, come on now. Congressional Black Caucus and these the squad and all of these other people, they had no interest in talking about this at all. Neither did the weak talking heads. We had Joy Reid wagging her damn finger at Nicki Minaj, but nobody is waving their finger and bucking making a sound at these Haitians that's getting ran up out of here. Ran up out of here. Boy. I've never seen anybody get ran up that fast. Right. You got them all the way back to Haiti. You can't even get these people back to Mexico. But you got these people flying back into the Port-au-Prince today. Now, for y'all in this broadcast that are on my Twitter, remember when Judah Queen made that post about the Jamaican runner, the lady, and that the German lady who didn't want to shake her hand and walked past her, slapped her hand away. Matter of fact, some brother was so disturbed by giving that attention because they felt that the white supremacy that we face was only going to be here and that it wasn't global. So when I mentioned that it was global, he proceeded to tell me that I was stupid. Well, we have since seen nobody. They're about to have a whole UN summit. You hear anybody making any calls about these people in Haiti? All these nations are coming together. Are you hearing anything about Haiti? Let's not forget, their government was just destabilized less than 2 months ago with the assassination of their president. Why? Because they wouldn't get, no, let me back up. Allegedly, some people speculate that he might have been assassinated to get him out of the way for certain influential money powers that be, to get through something that they want out there, and now they have boatloads of it. They even sent soldiers down there to make sure that they would get it. They needed to make sure that they were in good hands. See, I want y'all to think big. Stop, because what they'll tell you is what they want you to see. So always remember when you see these things, think big, because none of these things are by accident. They're not by accident at all. Matter of fact, they're very much by design. And when I say by design, I'm talking about a long-term plan. We're not looking at something they just started overnight. Get that one out here. In the meantime, now I'm pulling this other thing up. I want to show you these pictures. Just how old these, how long these people go back. Let me see here. Okay, so this is the press secretary trying to explain. This is hilarious.
Context, April, I don't think anyone seeing that footage would think it was acceptable or appropriate.
The DHS said it will be, said Saturday that federal agencies will be partnering with the Haitian government to provide assistance to the returnees. Can you elaborate on what that assistance will entail exactly?
You mean to the people who are returning to Haiti? Yes, we've been in close contact with the government about when people return, what that looks like. Let me get you some more additional details about what that looks like when they get on the ground. Oh, go ahead, Mish.
Thanks so much, Jen. I want to follow up on the question about Haitians and it's specifically these photos that are surfacing on Border Patrol agents seemingly using whips. I know you said that there's no context that it would be seen as inappropriate, so the question really is, why would this be happening under the Biden administration? Is this going to stop? What would I wonder sort of what are going to be the consequences if what we're seeing is what we're seeing?
I mean, Yamiche, it's all good questions. We just saw this footage. It's horrible to watch. I just have to get more information on it. Again, April, I don't have more information on it. I've also seen the video. I can't imagine what the scenario is where that would be appropriate. I'm certainly not suggesting that, but we've just seen the footage earlier this morning.
Some feathers were ruffled there, weren't they? But see, when you have to actually explain for wickedness live and direct, that's what it's going to come to. Ooh, that's rough. I mean, what kind of position are you putting her in? Like, you got her coming out to try to explain the most wicked, like the most wicked agenda. So she's stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Not that I feel sorry for her at all, but you know, I get it. I do get it. But oh well. Let me get this over here. I do want to play a little bit of this. Okay. So again, like I'm saying, agendas. One thing to understand, there's multiple levels and multiple aspects to the agenda. You understand what I'm saying? One being, let me play this, because I'm going to show you two videos, but they're connected in a very satanic way. Let me see. Let me get this up here for y'all. Trying to get this thing to do what it's supposed to do. All right, there we go. So, this is one aspect of the agenda. For one, and yes, it's sarcastic, like Ku Klux Klan was sarcastic, Jim Crow was sarcastic. So, you know, let's be clear. JJ was a coon, so we don't need to sit up here and start ignoring what we see. All this is Coonin 2.0. And what they did was mask it with a rainbow flag. So then, ooh, nobody can say nothing. Well, you even have people coming out here saying, well, you can't say that there's a gay agenda. Well, let's hear what Lil Nas X has to say.
Okay, first I want to say thank you to the gay agenda. Let's go, gay agenda!
Mr. Randy Watson, yes! Randy Watson! That boy is good. Mm-hmm. Good and terrible.
See, I want y'all to understand. That is a gimmick. That is Coonan 2.0. I mean, that's what that is. That is, it's really, really Coonan. That's all it is. It's unfortunate, but, and that's what he's pushing. Now, of course, you say, well, why was that agenda have anything to do with anything else? Well, because it is a means of population control. Doesn't get much simpler than that. And for those, y'all know I have shared this video with a few of y'all. I haven't played this one yet, but I'm gonna play this now. And again, this is information that somebody has decided to pass along, that they have deciphered. So I want you to hear what this person has to say, and I would say it is probably best to take heed of what he has to say.
Into this later. Listen to me well. I just received some documents from Canada indicating that the government of Canada is now going to remove driver's license or replace it rather, and health cards with the QR code. Now think about it. Why would you remove a driver's license which has an image on it? Why would you remove a health card which has an image on it, to give you a new ID that has no image but just a QR code?
Okay, real quick, my Star Wars followers, if you watch Star Wars, remember when they took over, when the Empire took over, they implemented something they was calling chain codes. So they were switching over everything, even the money, for whatever they call chain codes. QR code, it's just eerily similar.
Wake up. So the world, as you know it, is now 10 regions. On the 7th of September, Africa, the Union, and CARICOM joined together as one, and the Oceania and the other parts of the world, they have become one. So we have now 10 regions governed by the G7, which is Japan, Canada, United States, etc. So the G7, ruling over the 10 regions. And above the G7, of course, is Lucifer and all of these different persons. So now, when Canada removes driver's license, and then you have to have the QR code to have a driver's license, you will not be able to drive unless, this is what they're telling you, inadvertently, without the joke, which gives you the QR code certificate, you will not be able to renew your driver's license. Therefore you will not be able to drive your car. Are you catching it? Can't drive your car. So Canada is going to go all over the world, even to Jamaica. That's why Jamaica was trying to bring in NIDS, but they didn't put it in a way that the Jamaican people will accept it. But now with all the brainwashing from the last year to now, they're now people just thinking that if they give in, they go back to normal. You don't go back to normal, you die. So the driver's license, the health card in Canada, your passport will all be connected to the QR code, and your cash, your bank account. It's the cryptocurrency. There will be no more cash. Cash will crash. And so this is happening this month of October for Canada. They're going to roll out No more driver's license in Canada. October, November, they're rolling it out. No more driver's license, no more health card. And of course, by next year, no more passport. So travel will be without, you see all those people who are working at the airport now that think people need them, you will be replaced. There will be no need for you to be there. I was in Italy 2 years ago, and I just scanned the microchip in my Canadian passport, and the door opened. A lady just stamped in it. She didn't even look in the book. She just asked me for a page for her to stamp, and I left. And I said, why, this is strange. No one spoke to me. No one asked me why am I there, because that's not what it is now. The world is changing, and they have been doing the test run in Italy and in Europe and these countries where you just go through this little glass booth, you stand in, and it scans your face. When I was in South Africa, the same scenario applied. Something scans your face and you go through it. And when I was in Australia, that's the same thing I experienced in Australia and in Italy. And so what you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is it. So you cannot renew your license. Those of you who have not paid up your land taxes, one of the ways to catch you is the fact that you have not paid your land taxes. Then they have the right now to come and take over your property. So you have to pay your land taxes years in advance. I know this is really intense. You did not follow the signs, and therefore you missed the 7 year of prosperity. When the government of Jamaica told you prosperity, 4 years, it was true, but now that time of prosperity comes to an end, September the 22nd, and the time of famine and hardship like this world has never known or seen before in the history of humankind. This is what's happening. So in order for you to get this QR code, all right, why is Britain going into contracts with funeral parlors for 4 years to store mass bodies? Because they know that the people are going to die like flies. Listen to me and wake up. There are camps all around the world. They are building camps. In Jamaica, you think the soldiers are building this camp up in Montego Bay in different locations, and in Kingston they're building camps for who? For the dead bodies. Because when people start to see the dead bodies that are piling up, they're going to start to retaliate, and they have now, the lockdown is put in place, so you're locked into an area and you cannot leave that area. So this little this game that you think you're playing, that you'll be able to go in downtown or you go up to Kingston as you have a feel, it is not going to happen. They're going to ban you from traveling and moving and everything else until they have taken away all your liberties. If you don't wake up right now and understand the time that you're in, you don't think it's joking time. If you don't know who your God is now, you will not know then when hunger will kill you and water your pipes. Listen, imagine now there's no more JPS and no more NWC, and in order for you to get water and food, you have to go and show the mark. They're going to be controlling the water supply and the light. Are you hearing me? You will not be able to pay your bills because you don't have the QR code, because cash will be removed and the QR code will become your cash. Those of you sitting down saying you will wait and see, may I tell you, so you will see it with your eye, but you shall not eat thereof, because at the time then you think you will see to eat of it, you will die. This is the time to set your house in order, to put your affairs in order. When they realize that people are waking up, even those who have received their mark, they're going to interfere with your emotions. You want to hear a voice talking to you in your mind. It's the technology they have now. It's a weapon that they have. A voice will be speaking in your head. Just like when someone becomes schizophrenic, they hear a voice and start doing crazy things. This is what is going to happen. The technology that's on the inside of you will allow them to speak into your head by the frequency. Just like how your phone picks up frequencies and you can hear a call, so it's the same, the person becomes an antenna. I have warned, I have warned, I have warned. Noah warned, and so today I am warning. I'm warning. I am warning. Wake up. Gasoline, you cannot, there's a time coming you won't be able to first buy gasoline unless you have the QR code. And you can't get the QR code. You will not be able to go to the hospital without the QR code. The hospitals now are designed, the doctors only come in to pass that you're dead. They don't come to assist you. They have received instructions for you to die. The medication they're giving you for $190,000, Revicidia or whatever, that's going to cause kidney failure. You're going to die. And they attribute, every death is attributed to the C, the big C, when really every death that is happening now is to be attributed to the joke that you're receiving. I have warned.
Wow.
I hope you will listen and I hope you will understand in Jesus' name.
Well, you know, just passing along information, family. Just passing along information. And you know, I've shared that with some of the family already. But I wanted to make sure that I posted this. Oh, Judah Queen, I got you. Yes. You understand? It's serious business. And I hope, you know, you can get. Remember I told you that they can, or what they will do is they will run tests in the areas to which they can best get away with them. So certain areas will run different tests. But if you notice, all of these different things that are happening in all of these different areas, put them all together. What do you have? You have a new world order and one complete system of control. See, some of us we just have not been lying to you. It's just that the pieces all these years haven't been played out before your face. Well, some of you have waited till now to just start paying attention. You know, definitely against better advice. That's for certain. Let me see. There's something else to show y'all. This is crazy. I might have to go back. Oh, wait. Get back to the main screen here. Okay. So, see if I can. Slow screen. It's not. Let's see if you can see that. So understand what a debt slave is. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if I can actually make this any bigger. Let me go back. Okay. So look at that. Debt slaves are all the way here on the bottom. Now, right up above it, you have world population control. Y'all see that? Now, world population control, right underneath that, you have government, you have media, and then you have education. And I mean, you know, you can pretty much see things working in that capacity right now, can't you? Now you understand where the debt slaves are. Everyone who has a roll of dollars, you're a debt slave. Your dollar literally says it. So they know what they're calling. They know what condition they put you in. They know what condition they put everyone in. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to just know, like, I have mentioned it. Say, hey, man, I've worked for some very evil, wicked people before. So I know what these people playing. You know, yes, they're playing this madness. You know, but no qualms about it. I mean, none. They lose no sleep, okay? And then, you know, go back. Where is that? Trying to get that video. Where's that video at? that back up.
Carter City is stunned by the sudden rollout of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever. The Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away, because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. Book your travel. And even shoot video.
Hey, Rashana Morrison, welcome.
Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
Right there, bro.
I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part? It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
23% of the population has been given the Smart Mark, #1.
Time to test our system, #6. The Flex Fighters are out there somewhere. Teaming up with Jonathan Rook. Let's put our new recruits to work.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
I ought to find the Flex Fighters.
We should find the Flex Fighters. We should find the Flex Fighters.
We should find all the new black media. We should find all the B1. We should find all the FBA. You better pay attention.
Growing up in this city.
Now, this is my let me run that back. That activation of that
I
box.
ought to find the...
Hey, I gotta find these guys.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
I ought to find the Flex Fighters.
We should find the Flex Fighters. We should find the Flex Fighters.
Growing up in this city, the streets of Old Town, I saw the worst mankind had to offer. Chaos, disorder. I vowed to make it all change. To make it all better. All these years working in secret. Rising up the ranks of the tech men. It was all leading to this day. Order has finally been established in Charter City. No child will have to fear for their safety again.
He had a plan.
People owe you the greatest of debts, #1, for liberating them from the chaos of their lives.
From liberating people from the chaos of their lives. So them taking away your free your free will is eliminating the chaos from their lives, not their chaotic control or oppressive rule. See what the subliminal point is? Because trust me, there are definitely some folks out here that be like, oh, well, you know, I'm quite okay with that. I mean, shoot, it'd be much easier to go back on the plantation. Not everybody wanted to leave slavery, family. Unfortunately. White savior complex. Boy, oh boy, ain't that the truth. Ain't that the truth. So, needless to say, oof, you know, it's a sad deal. People aren't really paying attention to the signs that are being out there, and people are consistently giving signs out here and saying, hey man, pay attention to what they're doing. You might want to take heed. Queen Amadai been giving you information nonstop about stocking up on your perishables or your non-perishable goods. You know, get them canned goods, man, because there are some troubles ahead. And these people aren't playing. These people are very serious about how they coming. And if y'all don't understand that, again, in the midst of playing with spiritual warfare, and some of those who don't either get it or on the wrong side, fronting like they on your side and act like they don't see this type of warfare. This is warfare, family. The Teletubbies at Little Nas X. Can we get a feature on the next album? And we really sitting up here having the nerve We got the nerve to sit up here and talk about anybody who criticizes this. Something wrong with them. Well, you know, let me show you something that I saw. A partner of mine made a post. Oh, actually, before I even get there, well, yeah, I'm gonna go here and then I want to play another video that was sent. But let me show you this. Now, y'all have seen this before. I posted this in my stories. Okay, so y'all have seen that before. So my partner posted this, right? Let me show you something. Let's go into comments here if I can. Can you hear me? I'll make it bigger. Do that because he sent it to me. Can I get in here, please? Okay. Add those. Okay. I don't know why my cursor ain't moving. That's weird. Trying to get this to. Well, that ain't cutting it. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, what was going on here is that there were so many people that had an issue seeing this particular picture, and they went off on the brother. Really, he's like, "Oh man, this ain't it, man." Yeah, the people were really, really upset. It's like, well, heterosexual pride, being pro-life. We are at a situation, and let me show you what I said. I said, wow, the fact that this bothers anyone in the day of identify as you will is very telling. To the temperature of society, I guess it makes sense to me though, because this is do what thou wilt time. And that's really the time we are living in. If y'all don't know, that's what they own. Now, with that being said, let me show y'all this. Of course, we've seen Chris Rock. Actually, you know what? I'll play this first. Let me play this first.
Brother Chris Rock just revealed that he tested positive for CV-19, but what he forgot to mention to everybody is, hey, guess what? Not only did I take a shot once, I took a shot twice, and I still caught it. I think it's a perfect time to just mention that fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And Negro, you think we're going to listen to you when it comes to a third time? Absolutely pray that brother pulls through this and that he gets better. Make sure you boost your immune system because that is the serious part about this. However, if you were simply paid to put that post up, you have lost your damn mind. Because they are paying content creators, influencers, comedians, actors, etc. to put up there for people to get the shot. I took the shot, you should take it, put up pictures of me getting it, videos of getting it, etc. So let's not make it seem as though it's not happening. Our main thing is, why do they keep using comedians, which are not traditionally serious people, about this thing that is serious? Why do they keep using entertainers about things that are dealing with medicine and health? The real question is, why do so many of you entertainers, actors, athletes, comedians, etc. bend over so easily and go along with it as if you truly know what the hell you're talking about? Absolutely understand why they use comedians, because to be very honest with you, when it comes to comedians all throughout history, you are known as the court jesters. When things become too serious, life becomes too serious, the king is about to go to war, they need to make people laugh. So what do? They bring in the clowns. They don't use you because you're intelligent, they use you because you're entertaining. Don't you get this? Comedians that actually have the gall, the audacity, the testicular fortitude to even question are the ones who they never offer these situations to. The likes of Paul Mooney, the likes of Richard Pryor, the likes of, I don't know, George Carlin, let's see, even Robin Williams even. These are the ones who they are not going to go to when it comes to stuff like this because they know damn well they would have questioned. And they would have put it straight to your neck. No, I'm not doing that because that is not in the best interest of the people. So what the hell are you talking about? Those comedians were more than comedians and they would have checked you, which is why too many of you today are being laughable and you're being laughed at and you're not being legendary. That's the difference. Nothing more than a modern day glorified minstrel show. And I'm not talking about a minstrel cycle. I'm talking about a minstrel show. Good old blackface, good old Al Jolson, oh mammy, old tap dancing. Can I shuffle my shoes for you, sir? All that nonsense. It really puts a bad name not only on the area of the comedic genius, but it also puts a bad rap and a bad level of understanding when it comes to those who speak up and have a level of influence over the people. Just because you got numbers, just because you have money, does not mean you have influence. And it does not mean that you can put out a call for people to do something that's serious, to really do something that matters, because you're too busy being laughed at and entertaining your goddamn massa. There's a difference between you and Dick Gregory. There's a difference between you and Dave Chappelle. There's a difference between you and those who literally use the comedic genius to inspire a level of thought, but made people laugh about things that were horrible and things that are affecting us politically, racially, economically, making us laugh to get away from the pain of it, but still in a way where we can at least look at it. That's true comedy. But most of y'all are nothing more, again, than some basic second grade comedy, which is slapstick comedy. You know, Three Stooges, throwing a pie at somebody's face, smacking somebody in the, I mean, it's just like, listen. The sad part about this is that although Chris Rock made that statement, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And because he doesn't know what he's talking about, he took 2 different doses of the shot and still caught it. You only made people question more, why the hell should we be taking it, Negro? You took 2 doses of the shot and still got it. This looks crazy. You continue to prove our point that if it doesn't prevent you from catching it, if it doesn't prevent you from spreading it, what does it prevent really? Or it prevents hospitalization? No, it doesn't. Or it prevents death? No, it doesn't. So what are you taking? And why are you taking it? Of course we are not taking jabs at Chris Rock. See what I did there? No, but seriously, I'm not trying to take no shots at him either. See it? But for real, everything that he's doing is really not moving the needle at all. All right, I'm done. It is a basic principle in comedy that a joke is funny for at least 3 times before it starts to weaken and lose its comedic power. I took comedy class 4 years straight when I was in acting class. I know the basics, all right? So I'm not going to give no more. I mean, like, really, you have tons of different people in the comedic area, like, you know, Brother Ryan Davis, comedian Godfrey, etc., who have spoken out and who have basically said, hey, you know what, I'm not taking that. I'm actually questioning, etc. But then you have comedians like, I don't know, like D.L. Hughley, who has completely bent all the way over to touch his ankles and has sold out. Hot garbage. What people fail to understand is that we're not going to forget. All of this is on record, and none of you who have sold out will have respect from us, nor do you have respect for us. We are the younger generation. We coming up behind all of y'all. So if I were you, Brother Chris Rock, get somebody around you who is going to be honest with you, who is going to tell you the truth, who is not going to give you these lies. And all the pharmaceutical reps that reached out to your management team, just like the pharmaceutical reps who have reached out to a lot of artist team who have called me personally to let me know that they offered them $20,000, $50,000, even $100,000 just to say take the shot. Tell those bastards to go to hell so that you can actually study and get real information, real research before you promote it to the masses of the people, because you may not realize this, but you may be going towards helping to harm more people than you help. Brother Rock, you're over here telling people, oh, I got COVID, go get the shot. Hold up, player. Brother Reza Islam had COVID. I was knocked down for 8 days, overcame it with all the different natural remedies that I was telling y'all to take over the last year and a half, came up out of it, have all the white blood cells and antibodies to show for it. And the director of the CDC, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, roughly 3 weeks ago stated, quote, that those who took the shots early on from December up until now have a higher likelihood of getting sick and are not going to be able to overcome the new variants if their body comes in contact with the new variants, end quote. And she even mentioned that those who overcame COVID naturally, who caught it in the wild, overcame it naturally, have a higher likelihood of defending themselves against the new variants, where those who took the shot do not. So taking a shot is actually far more detrimental, according to the director of the CDC, Dr. Rochelle Walensky. So natural immunity is best. Please make sure when you tell somebody, I caught COVID, tell them to boost their immune system, change their diet, change their way of living, etc. Do things like that. But getting the shot is not working, clearly. I think from now on, anybody who gets up and says, hey, I got COVID, etc., blah, 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 I think the number one thing we should say is not get vaccinated, but we should say get educated. It's about that time, and people are starting to realize quickly that what the hell they've been hearing has been an absolute lie. You already know.
All you scared to death Negroes.
Oh, Lord. Now you understand, hey, Tanya Zion, Dan Ruck, take supplements. Absolutely. You know, and let's go back. When he was talking about the people that come with the money. Yeah. Remember the people that come with the money, those people that meet up and make sure that the agenda goes forth? You know, that's what you're looking at on your screen. You're seeing some of the individuals that are are involved. Look at Henry Kissinger. He made sure there's an agenda in here that some people call it a conspiracy because they call it connected to him. I don't know. I mean, one could call this possibly coincidence. I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all think this is just a coincidence that this happened to show up? I mean, you know, maybe the blueprint and plan, things could be coincidence. Definitely could just simply be coincidence that the person has said, well, we'll use this agenda and then we'll use the media and we'll start pushing it that way. In 2021, this is the image of masculinity for the black man. Also, black man spirituality, too. Let's not miss that. Let's not miss the dig on black spirituality. Since when have black folks been related to devil worship? All of a sudden, they're trying to make black folks the face of Satan. Are y'all paying attention? Got all this devil wicked imagery going on here. See? That's why I showed you these people. The people on the screen. See all those individuals? These individuals don't mean you any good. And it's always good to understand what they're up to. But you are looking at all the powers that be that have all of these different agendas going on. And that good old family in the middle, right there, center of the screen, is in the center of it all. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Oh, no, you don't see Oprah in here yet. Oprah's on a small scale. No, you got to look at the big scale right there, right next to the Rothschilds up there above the family. You are looking at Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King. Right there with the Rothschilds. Now there's a few other pictures, so it's not like just one coincidence. There's quite a few of those. You know, unfortunately. But you got to know, they want to control everything that we ingest. And our leaders are definitely one that they want to make sure they have under control. That's how when you watch these people that they put in front of folks, here we go, Lil Nas X. And what are the coincidences? Lil Nas X and Chris Rock are both on Saturday Night Live to push, like I said, coinciding agenda. You're just implementing one agenda in different spots to get the ball rolling, so then it can all come together. So if you're noticing all of these different areas from Australia to everywhere, really. India, I mean, all of these different things that they're trying, it all culminates to one thing. Matter of fact, and some people are more susceptible to certain ideas in certain areas. So for them, they'll be like, well, shit, I don't care. Oh, I do have this. Okay. So check this out. I mean, because, see, when we have all of these different people out here that, you know, in these different areas, their mind states aren't like ours. There's something in our spirit that just don't let us mess with certain stuff. Them, on the other hand, they want to go head first. Let's go do it.
Is our money. The onset of the coronavirus pandemic is forcing institutions around the world to rethink about one particularly germy surface: cold, hard cash.
Did you catch that? So first off, we're going to go ahead and start putting, the very first thing they did was put fear in your mind of touching money.
This is going to be hard to hear, but according to multiple studies, microorganisms found living on the surface of cash and even credit cards range from mouth and vaginal bacteria to flu-like viruses. But what if you can make your...
Okay, so within the first 30 seconds, fear, prepping you for the idea of doing something different, because this handling my credit card that goes in my own pocket all day, or my cash and that's in my pocket until I spend it, somehow might be passing a viral disease to me. Are y'all catching this? In the first 30 seconds they sold you that.
your daily purchases without touching a thing.
Right, just wash your damn hands. Right side of the tea.
Welcome to Sweden, where thousands of people are inserting tiny microchips under their skin so that they no longer have to carry cash, IDs, gym passes, and key cards to get into work.
I have 2 microchip implants, one on the right and one on the left. I got the micro implants because I wanted to be part of the future. I don't need keys, so I'm able to actually open the doors with my hands.
She wanted to be part of the future. So would we suspect that she perceives that in the future humans will be robotic? And this is what she desires, by the way. Are y'all catching it? You desire to be a damn robot.
These tiny chips are about the size of a grain of rice, and they're implanted into the back of the hand with a syringe. And so far, about 3,000 Swedes have gotten them implemented.
So in Sweden, you can actually use it to put your train tickets inside. You can actually use it with Scandinavia's biggest gym chain, so you don't actually need to show your membership card. I use it personally as a business card, so you can actually put your phone on my hand and then my LinkedIn pops up.
Really?
So, who's behind this technology? This is Hans Sepienshowblad, and he's the CEO and co-founder of Disruptive Subdermals. They're one of the leading companies when it comes to developing microchip technologies.
Now, remember I told you, family, peep the accent.
Encountered chip implants for humans almost 10 years ago. I felt that this is a very interesting technology that we could potentially do some awesome things with. So I bought a bunch online, got together a bunch of friends, and we had our first chip implant party. The number one reason for getting an implant is simply convenience. It allows you to eliminate some of the clutter in your life. Implants can also be used for making payments. For example, here at Epicenter in Stockholm, we use our implants in different vending machines, buying snacks and candy and juices whenever we feel like it.
Microchips may sound too futuristic for you, but Sweden is expected to be the world's first cashless economy by March of 2023. But now, microchips could be used for more than just convenience. They have the potential to change healthcare and the way governments are handling the coronavirus crisis.
I am convinced that smart implants will provide a marvelous value to people who suffer from different health conditions and need to be...
What the hell did he just say? Did y'all catch that? With that smart what?
But Sweden is expected to be the world's first cashless economy by March of 2023. But now, microchips could be used for more than just convenience. They have the potential to change healthcare and the way governments are handling the coronavirus crisis.
I am convinced that smart implants will provide a marvelous value to people who suffer from different health conditions and...
Smart implants. What did we just watch? Okay. So we go from a cartoon that's saying, okay, here's a smart mark, right? The cartoon is, lightweight, right? It's lightweight.
Microchips could be used for more than just convenience. They have the potential to change healthcare and the way governments are handling the coronavirus crisis.
I am convinced that smart implants will provide a marvelous value to people who suffer from different health conditions. And
yeah, one being your own chaos.
Carter City is stunned by the sudden rollout of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever. The Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away, because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. Book your travel. And even shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part? It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
20.
Lord. Now, what y'all think about that? Y'all seeing the comparison now? Are y'all seeing that comparison? That is ill. Okay? Super duper ill. Oh, well, they come from their father, the devil. All of his pleasures. See, this is, you can't really paint that picture much clearer. So, we have the brother, the Jamaican brother, that's talking about the QR codes. We have these people over here, they're running tests over here. So you have Canada running these tests. You have Sweden already implementing this, looking to be a cashless society by 2023. Oh, and lo and behold, wow. Man, you know what it also can do? Man, it'll also help us with these medical situations too. Wow, look at the timing. Praise science. I'm just giving people information. I'm not giving medical information. If anything, you can fault me for showing you where the money goes. I ain't told nobody not to get nothing. All I'm doing is showing y'all where the money is going and who the money is coming from and the type of people that are invested in what you ingest. I don't think I'm doing y'all a disservice by informing y'all, am I? Next thing you know, it'll cure cancer and raise the dead. Dan Rock. Don't give them no ideas. Don't give them no ideas. Put that be up in front of these folks real quick. The CDC, we going to have some catfish nuggets and biscuits and gravy. Come on down. Get this chip. Get your Smart Mark today. See, what would Jesus do if he was here today? Jesus would get the mark of the beast. That's right. My pastor said it, so I'm going to go get it. I mean, the Bible said different, but hey, my pastor said it's cool. So I'm going to rush down to the spot and get my Smart Mark. They are literally ushering the words into your mind. Trust me. They have every every intention on making that happen. I can't stress that enough. So you're hearing real people speak this. You're hearing them put it in cartoons. Now, what you need to worry about is, why is it in an American cartoon when it's actually implemented overseas? And then you get Keith David. Out of all the voices you could get, you go get Keith David. You know, you might as well have got the Allstate man. Get the black baritone. You know, you like the sound of a calm-speaking black man who gives you the sound of a stern man. And he has the plans that will eliminate all the chaos out of your lives, because you and your burden of your freedom of choice has burdened you into the spiral of endless, boundless chaos. And you must get the smart mark that I have for you to alleviate all of your worries. And trust me, you'll feel so much better with my technology. These folks have mastered people, man. These folks have mastered people. So you just gotta be mindful of how in tune and wicked they are, man. These people are like extremely smart and they're extremely wicked. So you got an extremely evil person. Imagine a whole family of James Bond villains. A whole family of James Bond villains, but they all in the same damn family. With money. With money that no one can ever even understand how much money. You know? And I didn't know I guess I did, of course, know I had this, but yeah, they really pushing their plans. The implants, they're not playing. They ain't playing it. Oh, Lord. So let me show you something real quick. I'm gonna just play a little. I'm gonna just briefly skip through a little bit of this because I just want to show you something.
Of the family in Israel, Rothschild owned vineyards at Mouton and Lafitte, whose wines are drunk the world over. Numerous Rothschild-built houses from the Vale of Aylesbury to the Riviera, and there is even a Rothschild island in the Antarctic. At the same time, the Rothschilds energetically pursued and acquired decorations, titles, and other honors, securing the ultimate prize, an English peerage, in 1885. The third generation also threw themselves into hunting and horse racing, those quintessentially aristocratic pastimes. They also extended their patronage to include writers, Benjamin Disraeli, Honoré de Balzac, and Heinrich Heine, musicians, notably Frédéric Chopin and Gioacchino Rossini, as well as architects and artists. In more ways than one, they were the 19th century's Medicis. From the very earliest days, the Rothschilds appreciated the importance of proximity to politicians, the men who determined not only the extent of budget deficits, but also the domestic and foreign policies which so influenced the financial markets. And politicians soon came to realize the importance of proximity to the Rothschilds, who at times seemed indispensable to the solvency of the states the politicians governed, and who could always be relied upon to provide up-to-the-minute political news. When the former de Rothschild Frères director, Georges Pompidou, became prime minister in April 1962, and later president in 1969, Le Canard Enchaîné commented simply, RF equals République Française equals Rothschild Frères. Similar echoes can be found in the British press too.
So, I just playing a snippet of that. We'll probably get a little more into that. No, George Soros is one of their puppets. So he's one of their favorites. Same with Kill Bill. Them people don't have no power. They take orders, okay? So remember. Because notice whose faces are missing from this. Notice who you don't see. You don't see no George Soros up here. You don't see no George Soros or no Bill Gates. You do not see them at all. No, those are just the faces that they want you to see. You understand me? These people are who are wielding power. You've never even heard of none of these folks before. Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands. And we have a former Secretary of State. He's not even like, he was just there, like, come on, man. Goldman and Sachs. I mean, you have the Secret Intelligence, MI6. You got David Petraeus, former director of the CIA. And now look at over there, second to the bottom. Does anybody see that name down there? Look at what company that this person on this Bilderberg meeting, who is that down there? Eric Schmidt, executive chairman. What company, family? Put it in the chats. Why on earth would this dude be so important? All of a sudden we have an internet man. Huh. He's at the Bilderberg meeting. Anybody find that a little bit? I ain't giving medical information. I'm giving business information. If anything, I'm letting you know where, you might want to invest in a pharmaceutical company or a media company. And, this is not insider information. This is information that you could probably use to make a proper investment in one of these companies if you so saw fit. So you're welcome. I'm not even taking a commission. See? I mean, hey, man, you're there, Google, so isn't this good for you too? I'm not giving misinformation. You're in the building. So clearly you must want this heard. So I'm hoping I'm piecing some things together for you here today. And I think I've showed you what I wanted to show you for the most part. We're talking about an agenda, and an agenda is so much more. The pre-911, the pre-9/11 library, absolutely. We have so much more that we are going to have to examine, explore, because these things haven't really been taught to us like that. We're taught on such a low ass level that, basically we need to have our information so tight that the lamestream lion POS media is absolutely irrelevant, to where they have to start telling the truth. And it can be done. Hopefully we're having another volcano, so maybe it'll be done before, the earth decides that it's time to make a change. So there's another humongous earthquake. Not humongous earthquake, decent sized earthquake down in California. And then you have volcanoes. The destruction of this place is coming quickly. Family, please believe it. Please believe it. And there's nothing that can really be done about it. This is spiraling out of control because it's circling the drain. But I also wanted to show you the players of everyone who was benefiting off of the long con, because these are people who are fully aware of the time frame they are on. So you got to understand, they know what they're part of, they know what they've signed up for, they are not in the dark. They make sure they keep everyone else in the dark. But if you're going to get down with them and they let you know their secrets, you damn sure going to be on board. And they're going to know that you on board. Only people who would probably know anything remotely close about their intentions are outside of them would be people that they have to keep tabs on. I mean, you know, just like they have to tell you what their plans are, there are certain people that they have to keep tabs on too. You know, they got certain people they have to keep protected, certain people they have to keep safe. It's in their best interest. You know? So you got to understand, they are fully committed into the spiritual side that they are in. They know what they've signed up for. What they have got is a big head start of tricking the world that they were the only powers that ever existed. And they're not. They are not. Actually, the least. But see, in all fairness, just look at it real quick this way. Let me put it to you like this. If the universe is the most just and fair, well, then you have balance of one and the other. Well, then what's the proper balance of one being on top? One, that whole situation flipping on its head. So, kind of put that in perspective. Whatever other nations would want to do is to pick up the pieces. However, you know, we got next. As much as Asia, China, you guys want it. No. And I think the reality is setting in. That's why it's such a big push to get black folks venomized at such a rate because we just not messing with y'all. And if you can't control us by way of your mechanisms, you really don't stand a chance. So, you know, that is, you know, how long will the giant sleep? You know, you got a bunch of lions sleeping and snoring and slumbering in a den of sheep. At some point, somebody else gonna wake up too, and the other one gonna wake up, and then everybody gonna recognize, you know, boy, there's a lot of food in here, ain't it? I'll help myself to this. Thank you very much. This is something they don't want. Anybody who reads the Bible, maybe Revelations 13, 9 and 10 might be your fancy. You know, and understand why some people would not want black folks in America, especially, to stand up, to rise up. And see, you don't understand what they know. When we do it, the world will follow. We do every damn thing else and the world follows it. If we stand up in leadership, the world will follow. But guess what? We have to learn how to lead. We've been taught how to be followers, while our inherent nature is leadership. Righteous leadership. That's our inherent nature. We got to get back to that. We had it on a tribal level. We had it on a national level. Even establishing government and then your religious part of it. So you have your government and religion. So the religion and the government always were two different entities anyway. But I mean, if you're moving into, you know, like modern day religion, yeah, that's all tainted and it's man screwed up. And they done had their hands on it, write it off. And I don't mean write it off as take nothing. What I'm saying is everything that they was talking about, write it off. Go get that information for yourself, read it for yourself, because truth be told, your understanding, when you ingesting it for yourself, may not necessarily be what they are seeing. So never take their word for it. Because, say for instance, I got a hidden message for you in this particular ink that I know only your eyes can see. But it's hidden in a page to where everyone can see. Well, then that means that if you never look at this book, you would never know the hidden message that was written for you. Does that make sense to y'all? Am I making sense? I hope I am. Not trying to be religious. I am just trying to be on the truthful spiritual path. And that ain't got nothing to do with no religion. And the damn sure ain't got nothing to do with the image of Caesar Borgia. So, I could post some pictures that I have of that would probably make somebody upset. But, yeah, who you call El Jesus? El Blanco? No El Blanco. El Negro. It'll make you feel better. Oh, Lord. Well, you know, there'll be people out there that says, hey, you know, man, that's the white man's book and all of this. And you hear the words that come out of my mouth. Do I even remotely look or sound like I'm listening to what the hell they talking about that's in that book that I ain't got for myself? The information I showed you, they didn't give me. I went and got and showed you. Boy, boy, boy. Y'all need to learn how to love yourself because everyone's experience is going to be different. So I don't have experience you got. You may not have the experiences I got. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt to tell me your experiences and from your stories. Because truth be told, if you're living these life experiences, you also have a life lesson in it. That's how you mostly know most people are bullshit. Because they're telling you a story that doesn't enhance anything. You're not learning anything from it. It's just a bunch of mindless crap. And I understand we got a lot about that because we have to worry about attention starvation with us. Hopefully, we can get through that. You know, with I would say meditation. Diet, focus, you know, and prayer, man, you know, definitely. And get your mind right, you know. And one way is just cutting out a lot of crap. If you watch a lot of mindless TV, reality TV, turn that shit off. If for all of my pork eaters out there, if y'all still eating pork, you know, take my advice and leave it alone. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm advising you. So you can take it or leave it. So with that being said, you know, I think I've dropped enough for it today. So if nothing else, please go back, rewatch some of this, look at some of these people, check out who the owners of BET are. Check out their history. Check out where they're spending money. Because that's the main thing that we need to start learning how to watch. That's how you'll know who's who. So you'll see, watch where their money goes. That'll tell us what they up to. So you notice how some of these people have money in the same thing that they're trying to get you to take right now. And all of these people are connected. No thanks. No thanks. So with that being said, you know, just dropping some more on you. We will be back tomorrow because there's another topic I wanted to talk about. We'll talk more about our domestic issues. You know, we got to deal with this Haiti thing because by tomorrow, these cats might be completely cleared out of here. So I want to see how, let's keep an eye on this infrastructure bill, and let's see if we don't have some kind of breakthrough announcement in the morning. Okay? So we're going to watch this one because I have a sneaking suspicion that somehow after majority of these Haitians are out of here, oh, wow, we've had a meeting of the minds and we burnt the midnight oil. If they ain't all up there doing an all-nighter tonight, we're going to get it passed, and they're going to be cheering everybody while most of these niggas all the way back in Haiti. Port-au-Prince you go. Ooh, these folks is cold, ain't they? They cold pieces, ain't they? He said, bless their little heart on the pork. Oh, man, if y'all can't cut it out. Shellfish and catfish, too, all bottom feeders. As well as people, too. You know what I'm saying? Bottom feeder people, make sure you get from around them, too. Because, nothing good could come of a bottom feeder. They are always looking to bring everything next to them down. So if you're trying to get up, you're next to a bottom feeder, it ain't going to be long but they pulling you back down the ladder. So be mindful of that. And always remember, that person that is around you that has that spirit in their mind and in their heart, look them dead in their face and tell them, Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. I'm going to let you fall while I let us rise. Thank you once again for spending your time right here with the Beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, Beatzillapdx officially. You can follow me on Instagram at Beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Facebook at beatzillapdx and on Patreon at beatzillapdx official. And the podcast, Our Real Truth, with beatzillapdx official at Anchor FM, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes and different podcasting streaming platforms. Of course, you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you can definitely do so. You can donate at PayPal. Well, yeah, I do have PayPal. I don't have that memorized, unfortunately, but I will put that in the banner. But the other link is CashApp, $beatzillapdx. That's CashApp, $beatzillapdx. All donations are greatly appreciated. Thank you in advance. And thank you for all that have already given. Peace and blessings, power and protection be unto you. And with that being said, I hope y'all have a grand evening. For the royal court in the chat, I will talk to you in a minute. And right now, we will send everybody else home as we always do. With the stone of truth being served up like a brick upside Reginald Denny's head. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is,
Yes, sir.
you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth.
Yes.
See, that's what you throw.
Yes, right, right.
Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.